Hello friends, welcome to our channel. This is Srinivas. Today we'll see late charge process in Oracle Fusion. So what is the process of late charge and why exactly we need impose late charge to customer invoices, and what are the configuration required to generate the late charge for any invoices. So that we are going to discuss in this session. So let us start. So what is late charge? So you can see here, late charge is the interest and or penalty imposed on customer for late payment for the invoices, outstanding invoices, right? For example, is a customer, we have agreement of 30 days payment term or 45 days payment term, and if the customer is not able to pay within 30 days and the invoice is overdue, in this case, the late charge, if we enable the late charge process in customer here, so it will generate late charge for that invoices as well as penalty if you enable the penalty also. Okay, so like whenever you, for example, credit card, you are using the credit card and there is a 30 to 40 days credit durations, and if you are not able to pay within that specified limit, so the bank will impose the interest as well as penalty. The same way you can configure the Oracle here to process the late charge. So what is the late charge policy actually? Okay, late charge policy means how you want to process the late charge for a customer. So that is, in Oracle has provided three options. Either you can create an adjustment on the same invoices to impose the late charge, or you can create a separate debit memo for that customer. Debit memo invoices so that customer has to pay uh, the late charge, and then you can create a separate interest invoices to process the late charge. So there are three options based on the organization's late charge policy. You can configure process adjustment for a late charge. You have to create one receivable activity. If you want to create a debit memo or invoice for the late charge, you can either create a debit memo transaction type or a invoice transaction, interest invoice transaction type. Okay. So I have configured this setup. So let us see. So, for example, I want to process the late charge of a customer and I want to create an adjustment for that invoices. Okay. So adjustment will be my late charge document. So let me go to system and show you what the setup I have done. So let me go to financial and receivable, receivable activities. Okay. So I will create one receivable activity of adjustment to process my late charge, right? So I have created the late charge at the activity for US business one unit. My business unit is US one business unit. Okay. So this is the late charge activity I have created, and any late charge I create or any late charge process based on adjustment, it will be used. Right? So this is the activity GL account, And you can see here the account used is the interest income. Yeah, because it's an income, we are charging, imposing late charge to the outstanding invoices. That's why it's an interest income account we have assigned here. Okay. Similarly, if you want to process the late charge based on invoices or debit memo, okay, so that also you can do. So that's why you have to create manage transaction type and create transaction type for late charge. So I create to process any late charge. If I use any debit memo, if I want to create debit memo, then this transaction type debit memo interest will be used. Okay, and this is for debit memo. And another, if you want to create separate interest invoice for late charge, you can use this transaction type. Okay. So this is based on your organization policy, late charge policy, how you want to process late charge. So these are the three document category you have to define. Okay, one receivable activity for adjustment and transaction type for debit memo and interest invoices. And another activity you can create that is for penalty charges. Okay, so if the customer outstanding and you are imposing late charge, you can also, in addition to late charge, you can also impose penalty on the customer. So for that also you can use the receivable activity. So these are the document setup for late charge, and then check the enable the late charge in receivable system option. Go to receivable system option. For US1 business unit, we have to enable late charge and assign the document, late charge document. Okay, so here you can see for a separate section here is for late charge, and enable this assess late charge checkbox should be enabled here, and you can see interest invoice transaction type, invoice interest, debit memo charge transaction type, and then interest charge activity. So any one of the option you can use for late charge process, and here another that is for penalty charges, right? Penalty charges and late charge transaction source. If you want to create interest invoice or debit memo, so this transaction source will be used for late charge. Okay. So here average daily balances. So exclude post billing debit item. So include post billing debit item or exclude post billing debit item. So based on your organization policy, you can select here. So I have selected exclude post billing debit item. Like after billing a customer, any debit item you can exclude. So here average daily balance calculation period. So how you are going to calculate the interest and penalty? Usually the interest late charge based on due date or based on run date. So you can run date to run date you want to calculate, or due date, invoice due date to run date you want to calculate. So I want to calculate late charge interest based on due date to run date. Okay. Save and close. So what is the next setup we have to do? late charge transaction source that you have to define if you want to process late charge and create interest invoice and debit memo. So interest tier and charge schedule. So what is this? So what should be the interest rate and what is the basis of interest? So that you have to define here. Charge schedule, late charge, charge schedule. So let me go to charge schedule. You can see here late transactions. So there is one charge schedule created fixed interest rate of 10% for all late charge transactions. Okay. So this is the fixed interest rates. So the interest rate of 10% will be applicable all the outstanding invoices, irrespective of number of days the invoice is overdue. Here it's dynamic 6-tier interest late charge schedule, and here they are using a aging bucket like 7-tier aging bucket, and based on this aging bucket and the number of days the invoice is outstanding, the interest rate will be vary. Okay, so 1 to 30 days the interest rate will be 1%, 31 to 60 days it will be 3%, 61 to 90 days it is 5%, and 91 to 120 days it will be 7%. So based on some interest tier, so tier level has been defined based on some aging bucket, and the imposing of interest will vary based on the number of days the invoice is outstanding, either fixed or dynamic rate schedule you can use for the late charge processing. Okay. Now customer profile class, that is very important. So you have to enable the customer profile, and also in site level, customer site level, you have to enable the late charge. Otherwise, if you don't enable the customer site for late charge, then the customer will not be, it will be excluded for the late charge process. So that is very important. And go to the customer profile class. So I have the default profile class, and for this I have enabled the late charge here. Okay, so this is the profile class for a customer, and the collector is Jim Jones. So all the generic profile attributes are defined here, but specifically I am interested on the late charge options. So you have to enable this checkbox, enable late charge. Okay, once you enable, you will get a lot of options here for late charge. Okay, late charge calculation method, how you want to calculate late charge, overdue invoices and late payment. Okay, overdue invoice only or late payment only, but I want to calculate late charge for overdue invoices as well as late payments. Charge reductions, credit item and disputed transactions, any credit item for the customers or any disputed transactions, so that can be reduced. So charge can be reduced for any credit items or disputed transactions. Okay, and here it is important. What is the late charge type? As I mentioned here, you can use any of the three options. Either you can create an adjustment, debit memo, or invoices. So here you can mention in the customer profile class what kind of document you want to generate for late charge process. So I want to select adjustment. I want to create an adjustment for the late charge. So what is the receipt grade days? So three days grace period I am giving, and interest calculation formula simple. It's not compound. Okay. So and interest calculation period. So monthly. So monthly basis, like it will calculate for how many months the invoice is outstanding, and based on that, it will charge the interest. And interest day period 30 days. Okay. Assess late charge once, yes. And what is the start date for the late charge? So from 2021, any outstanding invoices which are overdue, I want to calculate late charge for these invoices. And currency setting. So here you can see for each of the currency we have different late charge rate and conditions. I am here interested in for USD currency because my business unit is US1 business unit, and my customer invoices all are created in US currency. So here just observe carefully. Minimum invoice balance overdue type is amount. So based on amount, I want to calculate the late charge, and minimum invoice amount will be 50. So below 50, it will not calculate any late charge. So minimum, if the customer invoice amount is 50, it will calculate late charge. And here I don't want to use any interest tier. Okay, I want to use a fixed rate of 3%. Okay, monthly 3% it will calculate the late charge. If you want to interest tier or charge schedule, you have to assign a charge schedule here. So my rate will be interest like fixed rate of 3% monthly. So penalty charge also fixed amount. So what is the amount? I don't want to use any charge schedule for the penalty also. So penalty charge amount will be 25. So any invoices which are overdue, the late charge of 3% will be calculated, and over that a $25 penalty charge also will be imposed on the invoices. Okay. These are all the late charge rates and conditions I have created. Save and close. So apply change to all profile and version for existing profile. Save and close. So I have taken one customer Dixon Industries, and for this Dixon Industries, what I will do, I'll assign this customer profile which is enabled for late charge to the customer side. Okay, go to Dixon Industry and manage customer. Manage customer, select the customer Dixon Industry. I want to take, there are two customer account, and I want to select the US account actually. There are another for other countries. So 59300, this is the ES1 account, and for that I want to take the bill to and ship to site for United States. So 1038 is the customer side. If I go to profile history, you can see I have updated on 25th the default profile class which is enabled for late charge. So once you assign this profile class, all the late charge attributes will be populated here. Okay. Credit limit and late charge. You can see here my late charge type is adjustments. It's populating from this default profile class, and calculation period is monthly, and interest days period is 30 days. And for USD currency, it's a fixed rate of 3% and the penalty charge of 25. Okay, and the minimum invoice balance overdue amount is 50. So that is all populated from that default profile class. So now we are good. So almost we have completed all our prerequisite setup for late charge processing. Run the late charge process now. Okay, we'll go to monitor and schedule a new process. Create late charge batch. Business unit, US1 business unit. Customer is the Dixon Industries, right? Same account we have to select for two customer. 59300. The late charge date is I'm running on 25th of September. Currency is USD. Not for all the currency I want. For USA customers and US business unit, I want to calculate for USD currency. And there are two options, final mode or draft mode. First, I will generate the late charge and draft mode. I will review the process, review the output, and if everything is fine, then I will again run in final mode. Submit. Submit the late charge process is submitted. Just wait for the process to complete. Generate late charge report. Just review the output now. So if you see here, the late charge output, it will give you whatever invoices they are outstanding, what is the transaction date, due date, and for how many days the invoice is overdue, 150 days, and what are the interest days. Okay, and you can see here the interest rate is 3% fixed rate, and monthly basis it will calculate. So for all these interest days, it will divide it into 30 and it will take the months, and on the original invoice amount, it will calculate 3% and multiply by number of months. Then the final interest charge will be created. Okay. Similarly, for same invoice, it will create a penalty charges of fixed rate, fixed penalty charge of 25 US dollar, right? For all the invoices in the same pattern, it will calculate the late charge and penalty of 25. So now it's a draft version just for review. So you can see here for all the interest, there is adjustment number is not generated because we have created the late charge, because we have submitted the process in draft mode. And once you submit the process in final mode, it will create the adjustment number and it will be visible in the original invoice number. Okay, so now the output looks good as per our expectation, as per our configuration. So this output is generating the late charge. So now go and run the late charge process in final mode. Same parameter 59300, currency USD dollar. The mode is final. Submit the process. So now the process is complete. Generate late charge report. So now you can see the adjustment number. So review the output now. So this is, you can see now the adjustment number is generated. You can go to invoices. Okay, so there are two adjustment, right? One adjustment number for interest and one for penalty. So now we can review one of the invoices. So this is the transaction number. Just select, go to transaction billing and manage invoices or manage transaction. So this is the invoices for Diction Industries, and you can see the transaction date is 31st January 2020, and uh, if you go to output, it's overdue almost for 107 days late, and interest is calculated for 210 days, interest days, right? And the interest rate is 30%, 3%, and based on that outstanding days, it calculate the interest, and you will see the adjustment now. Okay, go to action and transaction activity. You can see there are two adjustments created, one for interest, late charge interest, and another for penalty. Okay, which this is now pending approval. You know how to approve the adjustment. Actually, adjustment activity, the user who is processing the adjustment, this should have approval limit, right? So if you just assign the approval limit for this user, then automatically the status will be converted to approved. So this is the overall process for late charge. Similarly, you can create interest invoice or debit memo to process any late charge. Okay. Thank you guys. I hope you understand the process of late charge. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel and please click on the bell button to get the latest update. Thank you guys.